how real are we getting in this bit? Like, are we going there? Like, I'm gonna tell y'all this because you here now. You in my motherfucking bedroom at this point. Welcome to the private pages of the diary. At the end of the day, everything is energy. Okay, let me tell y'all about this dream. Like, not y'all in my bedroom. Figure I'd bring y'all in. But I had thoughts. It's been getting hard though. Like, y'all, let me know if it's just me, because I feel like the world is definitely changing. And I know it's not just me. I've been feeling like a lot of people have been saying it as well. And I think we feeling the changes, we seeing the changes, but it's like, how do we become, especially as artists, it's like, how do we adapt to the times, you know? I mean, it's just even been crazy witnessing this writer strike, what's going on in the music industry. Like, so many things have been changing for creators in particular. And maybe I'm biased because, of course, I'm an artist. And so I'm seeing everything that's going on between artists, AI art, the music industry, streaming. It's been really interesting to see the shift in the way people view art. At times it can be discouraging. It can really be discouraging, where in a world where it almost feels, you know, the first word that came to mind was oversaturated, but I honestly don't think that there's an oversaturation of don't do it. I was gonna say real art, and I honestly don't even like that word. I feel like real art, like what is real art? But honestly, I think I get what people mean when they say it, and so that's kind of like the thing that sort of came to mind was real art. At the end of the day, I know that people still value people still value just like art for art's sake, because honestly, this whole topic kind of came up because of one of my patrons. So shout out to Allison. Okay, thank you, boo, for asking your question. I had did a patron Q&A, and one of her questions was, what is my why? Because like, she's struggling to try to find her why with art. And really what I was saying is, my why is because it just feels good to create art. And in a world where I want to just even first acknowledge that I love Simon Sinek, and I think his TED Talk is amazing. I haven't even like read one of his books, but the TED Talk about like start with why, his book Start With Why, I think makes a very powerful impact on business owners, entrepreneurs, people, like the human being in general, you know. But for something like art, I feel like sometimes there doesn't always have to be a why. And actually, because what's crazy is like, that is my why. It feels good. I like feeling good. I like sharing what makes me feel good. You know, that's even part of the reason that I'm even sharing here on this platform, you know. It's like, as artists and as creators, we feel good doing what we do. And so in sharing that energy, we can share that high vibe, inspiration, joy, empowerment, and love with the world, you know. And I also think at the same time, that's the double-edged sword that can make artists and creators feel like what we're doing isn't good enough. I know I struggle with that. Like, let me just speak for me. Okay. I struggle with that, especially being a nurse. So I was a registered nurse before I was an artist. And so, you know, that felt like, okay, I'm actually physically, tangibly helping somebody. You know, like sometimes we feel like, okay, if I'm a nurse or a doctor, or, you know, volunteering at a homeless shelter, or like, just like whatever, if we're doing these sort of tangible things that the world tells us is good, or actually giving back, or actually providing value for the world, then that's when you're validated. That's when your existence or your business is important, or your creativity is important, you know? And so I feel like whenever I witness creativity that just makes me feel good, it just reminds me how important art is for art's sake. And it just fuels my soul. Like, I think to me, art is like health. You know, it's genuinely one of the most important aspects of life, but we don't really appreciate it until it's gone, or like we don't appreciate it until it's sort of challenged, or changed in a way, I feel like everything is art. That's why I really struggle with the whole word about, real art. To me, life is art. Like just everything is just a creative expression. And I really don't like to assign judgment of like who's better because of this, or just like what I just like to keep it what it is, because in that freedom of me allowing anybody to express however they want to express, it gives me the same freedom to express how I want to express. I feel like the same judgment that we dish out to other people is the same judgment and criticism that we give to ourselves. So I just want to be able to make whatever I want to make, and then it still be considered real art. So I'm just like, I'm not about to judge anybody out here who want to make some random shit and call it art. Yes, boo, it's art, okay? It's art because you said it's art. The same way my art is art because I say it's art, Oh, speaking of Virgo, y'all, I love her in my room. Virgo is just good vibes for me. She was really inspired, of course, by the zodiac signs Virgo, but she's lounging in a tree, and with Virgo being an earth sign, I wanted her in this tree and have all these different natural and plant elements. So I felt like, okay, I'm gonna grant Virgo the permission slip to rest in this painting where she's resting peacefully in a tree, because the Virgo perfectionism is real, y'all. Let me not speak on behalf of Virgos, okay? But speaking of Virgos, y'all, we went to go see the Beyonce concert. Why was it everything? It gave me so much life. I think I'm gonna talk more about that on a Gemini Diary on the podcast. But yeah, in that I talk about how that Virgo, like she talk about a perfectionist, like she nailed it. Her and the team nailed it from tip top. Yeah, y'all, but why did somebody break into our car that night? Yep. Somebody broke into our car that night. We walked back to the car, glass everywhere, shattered my whole back window. But y'all know my little handy Andy just installed a whole new window, and made it work. Y'all, shout out to YouTube. Like everything is on YouTube. He literally watched a YouTube video and replaced the glass in my window. He's just crazy. YouTube University. If you need anything, it's on YouTube. It honestly is. And I'm just so grateful for this platform. And so as just like technology is, I was gonna say forcing us to change, but I really don't like that sort of language. I feel like the way that technology is inviting us to change, because of course there's some people who's not changing. There's some people who's like, hey, I'm about to do me, and that's fine. And everybody has their right to express how they want to express, to be in this world however they want to be in this world. And so I think there's nothing wrong with that. And so even in the midst of me trying to reconcile my relationship with art and social media and technology, I like to be cognizant of the different language that I'm using, because it does impact how I show up in the world. Anything that brings force upon yourself, you're never going to enjoy that, So I'm even trying to be cognizant about how I'm using language about technology forcing us to change, or like, oh, I'm forced to be on social media. I want to really look at it as an invitation, because one, that's what it is, but also it feels more gentle and it feels like I have a choice. And in that choice, I get to decide how I show up. I get to decide what I share, And so when I think about expressing myself online, I'm just like, it's actually really dope. Like it's really cool when you think about how real are we getting in this bit? Like, are we going there? Like, let's unpack it. You know what's even, like, I'm going to tell y'all this, because you here now. You in my motherfucking bedroom at this point. Welcome to the private pages of the diary, okay? At the end of the day, everything is energy. Okay, let me tell y'all about this dream. Like, why my dreams be so motherfucking crazy? Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all the dream. Part of it is because part of me even not want to tell the dream is because I don't want to make it sound like I'm being like pretentious, or like, oh, like I'm a motherfucking bad. First of all, bitch, bitch, why not? You are a bad bitch. Like, girl, own it. Stop. No, ooh. Not higher self just came and checked. Okay, yes, sis. Okay, we hear you. No, we hear you. Because somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to hear this. Even if that somebody is me, okay? So the context of it is trying to figure out like how we show up, right? And like everything is energy. And part of me was even thinking about it like, y'all, everything that's going on in the media and election season is coming up. Politics, Trump, all the things. We're not even about to get into the politics over here. We honestly not. But if you live in America, you know what's popping off. And I feel like every day they saying something about Trump. Mind you, I don't even watch the news. They just be having it on in the gym. So I just be like, oh, they talking about him again. Okay. And I'm just like, man, they are giving this man so much energy. Whether it's good or bad, y'all, it's energy. And energy is powerful. Here was the dream, right? Okay, so I had a dream. I was floating. I was having this sort of like out of body experience, and I was on this planet that had like shadows, right? And it's like you sort of go under the bridge. It actually was bright, but I like sort of floated underneath this bridge, and like under the bridge was like a shadow space, so it was like darker. And so, but I had this sort of guide on the tour who was like guiding me around, and they're like, okay, yeah, this is the sort of like shadow space, and it was like all these like little shadow entities or shadow beings. I was the sort of like light ball that was like floating around. Was I about the thing is like I don't even remember having a body, but whatever. So maybe I was a ball. I don't know was it even me? I don't know. You know how like in dreams everything, everybody, everywhere, all at once. Love that movie, by the way. So I'm like this light ball flying around, and I have this sort of spirit guide touring me around the shadow spaces for some reason. And the people in the shadow spaces was like throwing stuff at me. But it was like they were sort of like either angry or like jealous or like envious or like, I don't know. It was just like a heavy energy where they looked like their faces looked mad. So they were throwing stuff at me, but the things that they were throwing gold pens at me. Like, you know, those like art pens that you find in an art store. It's like those gold gel pens, like the coveted gold gels. I remember loving those as a kid. So to me in the dream, it just symbolized them throwing something of value actually at me, which was a gold pen. But what was funny is like their energy felt like that they were trying to harm me. But in them even giving me their energy or attention, it caused my light to grow. Like, y'all, this is I'm even like feeling weird about even sharing it, but I feel like somebody needs to hear the importance of energy in general, because sometimes we're so afraid to even share what we're doing because we're afraid of criticism or critique, or sometimes you can be a people pleaser and like don't want to let your full light shine because you don't want other people to feel bad, or you don't want other people to feel envious or whatever. And if you were somebody like me who was just shrinking themselves because you was concerned about the way other people viewed you, or you didn't want to show all that you had to share with the world because you were concerned about making other people feel uncomfortable, like you was just dimming your light, I feel like this is the message for you. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm even going to share this right now, because it even makes me feel uncomfortable to even share the dream, because it also makes me feel like I don't know, y'all, just like the world is just really uncomfortable with women who love themselves. It's also a heartbreaking realization. But the other thing that I realized is that type of person doesn't define the entire world. There's actually a group of people, a group of women who actually value seeing other women love themselves and pour light and love into themselves and other women as well. I want to speak to those women. I want to speak to the creative, light being, high vibe person who's afraid to fully shine in this dark world because the darkness can feel so loud and it can feel so strong. But I think what the dream was also trying to tell me is that, one, when you do put yourself out there, you need to be ready for whatever is going to be thrown your way, whether that's good or bad. But the other thing that it was showing me is that, like, even if somebody is throwing you something bad, like giving you negative energy, negative comments, whatever, they're still giving you energy. And I think what's so powerful about this digital world that we live in, even if people, like, even wow, are we going there? Like, ooh, if you with me, you with me, okay? Y'all, you can even monetize monitoring spirits. Like y'all, there's some people who will just lurk to be lurking. What's even dope about YouTube and specifically, it's still a view. They still helping you get to the bag. Like, they still helping you get to the bag. Like, that's the crazy thing. And so even if there is entities in the shadow space who want to throw things at you, that is still energy. And I feel like we live in a really interesting time. We live in a real interesting time where currency isn't only currency. It's a current. It's a current and it's a frequency, and it's no respecter of persons. And I think this is what the algorithm is showing us. That is what technology is showing us. Social media is showing us. So it's like, you know, if you need a social media break, boo, take it. Take the social media detox that you need, because I think that is important. I think it's also important to analyze what is going on that deeper level within yourself to make you feel insecure, to make you compare yourself. You know, to me, it goes beyond the algorithms. But the algorithm is a reflection of what we're putting our energy to. And so when I think about my social media feed, when I think about my YouTube homepage, y'all, it is motherfucking love and light. Like, it is first of all, I feel like the YouTube algorithm knows when I open my YouTube app in the morning, because that's really kind of the main one I'm on. Like, I'm playing around a little bit with TikTok. I've been trying to get back into my routine with Instagram, but YouTube know in the morning, when I go to brush my teeth and I open up the YouTube app, they know what I'm looking for. A Louise Hay affirmation. Okay? I need a 30-minute Louise Hay affirmation. Okay? And YouTube has been trained that that's what I like to listen to when I wake up in the morning and open that app, you know? So, I think a lot of the algorithm stuff is kind of exposing us. It's exposing what we're putting our energy to. And so for you even to be here with me, you put an energy towards my growth, which I'm so grateful for, you know? And it's like, whether you like that or not, you know, like, whether you like it or not. So I'm sure the people I'm sure if you hear, you like that you put energy towards me, and I appreciate you for that, you know? I also want you to know, if you watching something that you don't want to grow, don't put your energy there, because your energy is gold. Your energy and your attention is gold. Girl, where did we go with that?